we go. Live over on SPG.
I think. I was waiting for it to come up.
Oh, no. Hold on.
There we go.
I've got my stream set up. Hold on. What the hell is going on? I have chat disabled.
We're tired of
must
hearing
have this-
everybody's stuff.
I've got it set up for kids. Hold on. I need to stop. I'll kick mine back on in just a second. Feel free to roll that intro whenever you need to.
Will do. What's that? Okay. All right. Love you too. So, sorry about that. I was just telling your mom that I'll see her in about an hour because I'm at y'all's mom's house. Because that's where we stream OnlyFrets live is from your mom's house. I'm Jonathan. Sean is somewhere over there. He may or may not be on either one of our screens, but just in case, I'll roll the intro. Well, I'll roll the intro just in case.
You're live in 3, 2, 1.
All right, and now we're back official. I think.
And live on my channel as well.
There we go. Sweet. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, man. I am doing okay. I recently found out that Ding Dong Ditch is dead, so we can talk about that here in a little bit. And what are you holding there?
Freshly restrung and slightly set up SG61 standard. I had to think about it. I almost said special, but it's a standard with the correct small pick guard, not that big stupid bat wing guard. I think that's the bat wing guard, whatever. And then this is Megan.
Yeah,
my devil bitch. Yeah, I made an Instagram post earlier about fingering Megan's G-string, and I don't know if that's going to make anybody turn in or not, but maybe. It goes with the theme.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it goes with the theme of the show and the name and everything, I guess, in a way. So, but anyway, awkwardness aside, what do you got? That looks beautiful. We've seen it before. What is it?
We have. We sent her out on her OnlyFrets maiden voyage last week, but this week she has new pickups and a new wiring harness in the back.
Sweet. And
a slightly shorter nut height so that I don't detune on my cowboy cords. And there's no no talking through the pickup like last time.
No microphone.
So
yeah.
Oh no. It's crazy how much a different. This neck pickup is sweet, dude. Hold on. It's just got this really cool, like, how do I describe it?
Creamy.
If, yeah, like, well, it's not though. It's like really the bottom end is good, but it's almost like if you're attacking with a like that. This action is like the only thing I could use to describe it. Like it feels surrounded almost.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I know what you're saying. I hear the sound in my head because I hear that sometimes too, especially on. You hear it on neck pickups. I don't know if like. This one maybe kind of has a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Just not as much as yours does, but yeah, you can hear that kind of wah 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 in like in the mids, kind of, especially on the higher strings. Yeah. Anyway, But
Yeah,
sounds nice either
it's
way. Whatever it is.
it's a nice quality. I think the higher end pickups typically will have that for some reason. But
Yeah.
yeah, just really nice. Yeah, Jimmy Biter says a vocal quality, which
There you
probably
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get would throaty be the right way to describe that. Now that we're throwing out all the
Mhm.
buzzwords again, kind
Sure.
of like that bubble stuck
Yeah.
in your throat kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of what I would say.
Mhm.
If I had to say anything, but anyway,
Yeah.
awesome. So why is
Yeah, man.
that's an interesting non-guitar related sounding thing. Why is Ding Dong Ditch dead? Are the kids not getting outside enough, old man?
So they are, but the Ring camera has absolutely ruined it.
Right. And I'm a little guilty of that, I guess, because I have a Ring camera. So no one's gonna do that to me. Not that they
Yeah,
do,
I'm
but you know.
so there was a post from local law enforcement made on Facebook. And more importantly, like the comments section is dead because it's just full of like ridiculousness. But like, so this kid ding dong ditches a house. I know the house, I know where it is because I can see all like the landmarks from the Ring cam and stuff like that. And yeah, it's like,
That's
but you
funny.
can't see his face because the Ring cam is like horribly positioned, like low on the porch. So I
Okay.
don't know if they're worried about packages getting lifted, and so they want, something down there, but like it should be up there where you can catch somebody's face. But
Yeah.
we don't have a Ring cam. Mark says you have to have a Ring cam. I don't have one, but like kids can ding dong ditch my house, but I don't have a doorbell, so they got to knock. But anyway, all that aside, so kid runs up, raps on the door, takes off. But apparently, what the video doesn't show is that the front window gets broken,
Ooh.
and then at another house that same evening, a sprinkler was thrown through somebody's window, and it like landed in a bedroom, like right next to somebody's head.
Oh God.
So now you're getting into vandalism territory, which
Yep.
I was a kid once, and I've committed a little vandalism in my youth,
Who
as it
hasn't?
were. I think we're all boys will be boys, and run around. So anyway, my mom posts this on Facebook, and I go to the source video and I start reading through the comments, and it's just hate for like local law enforcement. Like people just hating on our cop for like caring about this. It's like, well, first of all, he has a job to do. His job is these people want to press charges for property damage.
Absolutely.
They have a video.
Yeah.
They're sharing a video. So whatever, that's within the purview of his job. And like, so people are like, oh, looks like a good ding dong ditch. Why are we messing with the kids? It's like, well, okay, first of all, ding dong ditch is dead because of Ring cam. So like you're gonna get popped like every time. And it's just like a nothing, it's not a charge or anything, but the cop's gonna come by and be like, you do it again, you're gonna get a fine for being a public nuisance or something, disturbing the peace,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Trespassing, whatever the case may be. But like the bigger issue is like my comment was, okay, growing up in Palouse is you're a kid in Palouse, and part of that is that you run around doing some stuff you're not supposed to do. Like you're gonna get into some, but you're gonna get into some trouble.
Yeah.
That's the point. I got in trouble, right? Like I had to face the consequences of my actions.
Imagine.
So like people getting mad saying like it's just a kid being a kid. It's like, yes, but part of being a kid is facing consequences to your actions. So if there's property damage, the kid needs to pay for that window. He needs to write probably an apology letter if his parents are decent people, which they probably are. And then like, you gotta like maybe do a little community service or something like that. That's the way it goes. Replace the window, do some community service, write an apology letter. You have to learn that there are consequences for your actions. That's part of it. That's part of the fun. Because if you're 15, like you already know.
Right.
You already know that you could get in trouble, which is why it's fun to do it.
It's the
So, like,
thrill of it.
if you get caught, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, the thrill. You're like, I could do this. And look, this was a clean ding dong ditch. No face on camera. Kid was out of there like lightning. He was so fast. In sandals, mind you, flip flops.
It's not the first
I
time he's
was
done it.
impressed. So I told him, that's my comment. I said, super clean ding dong ditch. If it was my kid, I'd be super proud. Like, that was fast. He didn't get caught on camera, like all that, and I was like, also, if property was broken, he needs to face, he needs to face consequences. So it's just, people can't critically think anymore. It's just one thing or another. Let the kids be kids. Okay. But are we raising them to be children later? Or are we going to raise them to be adults?
Right.
Like, I don't know about you. And, I'll shut up here in a second, but I don't know about you, but I'm aiming for where the target is going to be, right? I'm throwing a pass downfield to a wide receiver. Like, I want the ball to be where my sons are going to be later. I'm not trying to hit them where they're at right now. Everything is planning for later. The lessons I'm trying to teach them are for later, when they become men and women, my daughter and like everything. So I just think, yeah, they should be, allowed to, sneak out and ding dong ditch. They should also be allowed to face consequences for their actions.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where, a lot of, I don't know if they're therapists or just like doctors or whatever, they'll say something like, if a kid falls, sometimes you can't always prevent them from falling. You have to let them fall and realize that if you fall, you're going to get hurt, kind of thing, and let them learn how to deal with it themselves. In this instance, yeah, it's kind of the same story. It's like, let them go do that stuff. That's fine. Let them figure out the ramifications of it and learn their lessons. But the problem is if there's no one there to teach the lesson, or you have the people in the back that are, and I know somebody that's like this. I won't say who it is, but I know somebody that's like that, where it's like their kids cannot get in trouble. In fact, I know a couple people like that. But anyway, and that's why kids are such little shitheads in school. And I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it. Like, it falls on the parents.
Amen.
Most of the time. Sometimes the kids are just little brats, and that's just the way that it is. I mean, there are parents that, do their best, and you can see on their face that they're just worn out, but the kids are just completely helpless. And I mean, I went to school with kids.
Good people give birth to bad children sometimes.
Exactly.
That's true.
It's like, you kind of have to have that balance in the world, I guess. Good and evil kind of thing. I don't know if you want to look at it in some kind of weird way. But yeah, it's now I will say this. I don't know about anybody else, but the ring cams they're not the most reliable things in the world sometimes, because I have a ring cam and it sits on my door and it catches most of the road and everything. It will pick up, me coming up the stairs, any of us coming up the stairs, going in and out, whatever. I'll open the door and it'll go off and say someone's at your front door. But God forbid UPS or somebody walk up the stairs, or Amazon or something, drop something off, I won't know it. And I don't know why. It won't pick up a bit of motion. Yeah, I don't know why. Which worries me a little bit.
That's a conspiracy theory.
It is. But see, here's the thing. If I know, because you can check it on your phone and like view it on your phone and talk to people on the phone and stuff. So if I know something's going to get there and I see like in my email, something's there or whatever, I'll go on there and do a live view because it records it. So if I see it on there, I'll be like, oh, there it is. So if something happens to it later and nobody, like, you have a claim to go back and say, hey, my package was really stolen, kind of thing. Not concrete, but anyway. And I will say this, my wife's car was actually broken into. Not that they broke anything, but they just kind of opened the door because nobody locked the door. Which I think was really my fault. I usually lock the doors at night and stuff, make sure they're locked. But anyway, had her wallet stolen. It was
crime of opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah. So and apparently, our neighbors had gas siphoned out of their truck. So there were some rambunctious teenagers, and we kind of know who they were that did it, because there were some kids down the street that were just. And what it was like, and I know I'm going on a whole separate tangent about my life, but. Kids down the street, or the people that live down the street had their kids, I guess, from another parent or whatever, staying like it was their weekend. So they were only in town for a week or so. This is not the first instance
Yeah.
that I know that they've caused issues, because every time they come around, things, especially in our little quadrant, as I like to call it,
Yeah.
go awry, because they're like right down the street and it's easier to come up, and we have all these woods here and stuff that they can duck into. I've had like something weird, like our water spigot. You have one in the front, one in the back. I was standing in our kitchen and I was like, I hear water running. This was like years ago. It's like, I hear water running. I opened the back door because no one's taking a shower, no one flushed the toilet, nothing. And I look and I just hear water. I'm like, what is that? And I look over here and my water spigot is just full blast. And I'm like, that's weird. So I go down I'm like, someone's trying to get me out here to fucking rob my house or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like down the stairs on my phone. Like I think I just pulled like a steak knife or something. I'm like, you come near me, what kind of thing? Like, because I was like, this is what that sounds like. I was real whatever. And I go and turn it off. And as I turn it off, I hear the kids around the corner. I don't know if it was in a house that they were just walking by or they're hanging out with people with. And they were like laughing. And I'm like, you sons of bitches. Y'all did that. So, and I'm like, man, I wish I had that Ring cam. That's the point I was getting to, is I'm like, I wish I had cameras all around the house for things like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The
I mean,
motion
it
stuff
is nice.
So reliable.
That stuff is nice that it's available. We live in such a small town. It's just kind of like, I don't know. My parents they don't have no cameras. They haven't locked the doors in 30 years or whatever. Like they don't even lock when they leave town, bro.
That's crazy.
And I'm probably giving myself up right now, but it's like great. My stepdaddy's always just been like, if they want it, they can just come in and have it. I don't care, and it's fair point. Let's see. We've got some comments here. Brandy Miller says, yes, kids getting in trouble is normal, but facing the consequences of those actions is an important part of learning process of growing up. True. Guitar Talk Universe says, I can't be a bus driver because they frown on me pepper spraying little Jimmy in his smart mouth.
Yeah, that's my wife is a bus driver, and fortunately she has some pretty good kids, but when she first started, she was coming home like almost in tears, like, man, these kids are so bad.
Oh yeah,
because she does like
the
middle school.
I feel like Gen Alpha is a little more respectful. I think we've talked about this before, but I think we're trying a little harder than the previous generation. I can speak for millennials, but I think we're trying really hard to like reinstill some of that like boomer level respect for your elders kind of stuff. Maybe it's Greatest Generation. It's actually 4 generations ago. Like the greatest generation you respect. I mean, to a degree, like obviously you respect anybody who's worth your respect. But
exactly, I was going to say, you can't use that blanket
and
term,
it is,
respect your elders, because it's not.
No.
If they're assholes, I mean, they don't deserve your respect. Like, just because you're older than me don't mean you deserve respect.
Right. Yeah, you respect anybody who is respectable. And it's my job to teach them who is and who isn't, what type of people are respectable and what type of people don't deserve any of your time whatsoever. So I think we're trying to do that in our house, and I see that a lot with the kids around town in my kids' age range. Like they're good kids, and they're so talented. And that brings up maybe our next point there, and you had something about a change in YouTube maybe.
Yeah, so with I don't know how many people have heard about this, but so if you haven't, let me fill you in briefly, just synopsis. Apparently, in an effort to protect the kids, and this has been rolled out through a ton of different various forms of media, they're doing age verification in the form of, if your account gets flagged as a supposed underage account, under 18, that being, you have to then submit a photo of your ID to YouTube to essentially gain access back to YouTube. Which I don't like that at all, because that is a massive, massive invasion of privacy. And it's for something as, now I get it, YouTube is kind of a Wild West land. I totally get it. But giving kids unrestricted access to the internet is not the government's responsibility. It's not YouTube's responsibility. It's not Google's responsibility. It is again, it goes back to the parents. It is the parents' responsibility to maintain their child's online activity. And that's just kind of it. Like, I shouldn't, as a 31-year-old grown man, I should not have to submit my ID. Now, my channel hasn't been hit by that yet. I say yet because I'm pretty sure at some point someone will do something stupid or it'll happen or whatever. But I think they're using like AI to go through, and if you've uploaded videos and blah 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 blah, or depending on the type of content you upload.
Right.
So I think you and I are safe. But anyway, yeah. So just keep that in mind. Anybody that may be watching or watching this recording back, if you get to this point, yeah. And I would say, use that, try to gain access back to it at your own discretion, I guess. If you really just want to give up, and I'm not one of those people that's like, they're getting our data, blah. They have our data. They have it, right?
Yeah.
If they want it, they have it already.
Yeah, we gave it all up a long time ago.
Why do I need to send a picture of my ID to you? Like, if you have it, like, like this was in, I'll say this too, and please don't think the worst of me. Not that it's bad if you're whatever, but this kind of started in, like, I think the UK, and stuff like that, notably with adult websites. I've seen a lot of articles where, like, the big adult websites, without mentioning names and everything, they have where they've essentially asked for, the same kind of thing, which even that, maybe that's more of a gray area for me, because obviously they have the warnings and stuff if you go on there, like, hey, this is an adult website, blah 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 blah. YouTube doesn't have that, and YouTube Kids is not that's a whole separate Wild West. But those warnings clearly are never enough. But again, if you are a parent monitoring your child's websites and what they go to, if you were to see that warning come up, and then they go to try to click, yes, I'm 18, it's like, you can stop it. But again, if you're unrestricted access, no parental controls, like a lot of antiviruses and a lot of browsers have parental controls, a lot of internet like ISPs, they have them. And people just either don't know about them, don't utilize them, or don't care to do it, right? Which, fair game if you don't know. But if you're a parent, you can put parental controls on stuff. Like, you can do TV. You can block your kids from watching shows, make a kid's account on Netflix, things like that. But all of that kind of stuff apparently has started in, like, the UK, and they're all upset about it. And it's kind of slowly brought its way over to here.
That's
So
that's what I'm seeing. Brandy said it started in the UK. She brings up a good point. That's an opportunity for kids to be doxxed, and we're assuming that every kid under 18 has an ID.
Well, I mean, what if there was a website that said you needed to be 16? Most 16-year-olds at their point in life have a driver's license, right? Do you really think you would feel comfortable with having your child, your 16-year-old kid, say, I'm going to take a picture of my ID and upload it to this website? Like, no, that's not, no. It's like, you don't need to be on there then until, I guess, if you're once you're 18, you can make your own decisions. You are legally an adult, whatever. But even
this is all, dude, we're going to go down a conspiracy rabbit hole. Jimmy says in 5 years, I'll find myself in jail for having a social credit score of negative 5,000. I mean, that is what it is, isn't it? It's like even further tracking for what you watch. And, like, I mean, it's like they can just go on my account. Like, they know who I am. They have my email. Like it's not a secret. Like, what do you need my driver's license for? I don't need to drive to watch YouTube. Like it does feel, Brandy's not, blocking the bad and blocking the bad and inappropriate things from kids isn't enough. Parents need to have clear and open conversations with their kids My oldest is 19. It's worked well for us. Steve, I agree. My kids are under basically a strict 0 YouTube policy. Like, they do not get unfettered access to anything. Right now, you're talking 7, 5, and
Right.
1
Yeah.
and a
yeah,
half. Like, these are young kids. Like, and I will continue that for as long as humanly possible in the world that we live in. But it's basically like they're like, I want to watch YouTube, and it's like, no. We use YouTube for like some movies that are ad free sometimes, like kids movies and stuff. But other than that, and that goes from my phone to the TV, not on the TV. And then Brandy says, I don't feel comfortable with any kid at any age uploading their ID to the internet. Far too easy for someone to hack database, find those kids, end up getting kidnapped. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This topic goes super deep, dude. Like, it could be, as deep as we want to take it. I want to stop short of probably politics. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Let's not get into that.
that seems kind of wild to have people uploading their IDs onto YouTube. That's kind of wild for sure.
It is, yeah. Just to keep some kind of relevance here, this is a guitar-based thing, so there's some strums for you. But anyway, so just because I know someone's gonna be watching this, like,
This is a guitar channel, yeah.
But no, I mean,
but it is on YouTube.
The YouTube thing, yeah, is absolutely a thing that needed to be discussed, because it's like, look at it this way. Okay, so not everything on YouTube obviously is bad. If you go into like the obscure corners of things, or like even not so obscure, I mean, there's some really weird, obscure shit on this platform. There really is. But there are also those like, if you like, I'm a big true crime guy, or like, horror kind of theme thing. So I watch a lot of those channels, and they'll talk about some of like the media on YouTube that's kind of weird and blah 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 blah. So like, you obviously have those channels bringing attention to it, and I don't know. I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, I had YouTube back when I was a kid and I'm fine and blah blah blah. But it's like you said, you don't have your kids on like just this unattended, like, just go buck wild, right? So I wasn't so closely monitored at one point. Like, I was watching like Family Guy clips. I remember watching like Family Guy clips on YouTube. That's what I did.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's what it was for.
Right.
Yeah.
So but I mean, like, nowadays, obviously, like I said earlier, YouTube Kids is not. It's really not an option because of the controversy that they've gone through, because you have more weirdos, ironically, on YouTube Kids than you do on regular YouTube. So I think, to some degree, having regular YouTube available to a younger audience is probably a better option than just saying, oh, YouTube Kids, I'll give my kids unrestricted access to that, because they're not doing a good job with that. Why that's even still
a false sense of security.
Exactly. Yeah. Look at what was it called? Elsa Gate, that whole thing that went around years ago.
Right.
That was all on YouTube Kids.
Well, do you remember, you might not be old enough, but we used to have VHS tapes, and some of the people in my chat will remember those. And I remember, like, on the Disney packaging, there was always a phallus. Yeah. Like, on every single piece
Little
of artwork,
Mermaid.
there was some sort of phallus. Yeah, Little Mermaid, I think Aladdin, like every package, like if you look through the artwork on the videotape cover, there would be some, or there was like always some like thing in there. Kids have never been safe, like, from, frankly, perversion, I guess, for a better word, lack of a better term. And so, to a degree, I agree with you. You just label some. It's like what they do at the store. They're like, this is organic, but it's sprayed with something completely inorganic, or you know what I mean? Like, it's not always healthy for you just because it says organic. Somebody at a company paid for the organic sticker, not necessarily went through a rigorous testing process to have their food vetted by the USDA for organic, right? Like, they just called it YouTube Kids, and they put all of the content that somebody put, this is for children, and like mark that little ticker box, like the radio button, yes, this is for kids. They just marked that, And then they just took everything that was marked that and put it in there. So I agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
Well, and here's the thing too. I mean, there's a tactic that has been around forever. Apparently TikTok's been the latest victim of it. Is the bait and switch? Good old bait and switch, where you'll be watching something. Oh, this is wholehearted, whatever, and the next thing you know, you're watching some gore video that's like a shock from a shock site or something, and it's like whoa, where did this come from? Not that that's really that big of a thing nowadays. I've certainly not stumbled across it in a while, and I'm like chronically online. So,
Right.
But stuff like that exists, and I mean, I get that you can't protect everybody all the time. Like you can't be around 100% of the time, and kids, going back to what we were talking about before, they're gonna sneak around. That's just part of it. But you know what? If you warn your kid, and this is such a bad way to say it, but this is just the reality of it. If you warn your kids, like, hey, there are some weird videos online that we don't want you to see. It's stuff that would, and then if all of a sudden, like when I was a kid, if you're watching something or curiosity gets the best of you and you kind of go behind everybody's back, and the next thing you know, you're watching a Mexican cartel video of a dude getting his head cut off with a chainsaw. I mean, I'm just saying that's something that kids can be exposed to. And it's like, that's why parents are, whatever. But I'm like, look, but again, and if some kids experience that and they get that shock, if they got to learn that the hard way, if you were following the rules, that's just, and again, I know it's such a bad way to say it, but I mean, if you're doing all you can and kids go be kids kind of thing, that's just a lesson they gotta learn. Don't pick them up if they fall.
I think the biggest thing is building up your child. By the way, we'll get into this, but Jimmy has been testing out his new Tonex pedal, and
something a little lighthearted.
So much that it kicked the synergy stuff to reverb. That's cool. That's cool. It must be that good then. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about those Tonex pedals. But so just really quickly, and then we can move on to other business here. But every lesson I learned in life that I still know to be true, I learned absolutely 100% the hard way.
Yep.
Without question, without any deviation from that formula. I learned every lesson that I learned the hard way. My oldest son is exactly like that. I can't tell him nothing. He just has to do it and figure it out. And, sometimes at least in our house, like I'm the meaner one of the two parents, and like I have to be the consequence sometimes. I'm not talking like I don't hit my kids or anything, but like I have to like stand up and be the consequence that they're looking for, because they absolutely are testing the boundary. And later I won't be the consequence anymore. It will literally come down on them from outside forces, and I have to prepare them for such a thing. So if you're doing your job as a parent, your kids are probably going to be fine.
But
and
the thing is, it's better for you to have that stern voice now. Like if you had to yell at them and be like, hey, don't do that, teach them now, then in the future they end up on some police body cam of them being thrown to the ground, handcuffed, and then a mugshot, and you having to bail them out. Like, it's like
100%.
You got your two options there, and it's like, it sounds extreme, but you let kids get away with the small stuff, and they just constantly get away with it. It's going to escalate more and more and more. And before you know it, that sticking your hand in the cookie jar when you were told not to is now a burglary at a supermarket or something, and it's like it just goes from there. Again, not always the case, but there's correlation there. So anyway,
yep, you sacrifice being a cool parent for being a bad guy sometimes.
You're not their friend, you're their parent.
No, that's right. That's right. And later you will be their friend if you act like their parent at first. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So real quick, Mark Spurgeon, I always go back and forth on how to pronounce that. Mark over here, my mod, he sent me a trio looper pedal
Nice.
that will be here on Monday. And I'm really excited about it. This thing, he's been talking about this thing on my streams because like I always use backing tracks. He's like, you need a trio. It's a Digitech Trio Plus pedal. And so he sent that over. I appreciate you very much, bro. Yeah, it's called the Trio Plus Band Creator and Looper. So like essentially you kind of I don't know exactly. I've been reading through the manual in anticipation of its arrival, but apparently you like set the chord progression and then like the robot does kind of the rest, and you have some buttons you can press, like change up the groove and like all this different. It's really cool looking. So super excited. I don't know if it'll play very well with my pedal setup yet. It's got like an effects loop. So technically you want to get all of your effects running through the front end. So from your last pedal to your looper, and then you go back around and hit the first pedal with the return or the send or whatever. And I don't know if that's going to work with my setup because my amp has effects built in. So the reverb and everything that I typically use would like come after the digit, but I'm stoked to like mess with it and just see, what I can do. But it seems pretty awesome. So looking forward to it.
Fortunately, there are no hard and fast rules with signal chains. I mean, maybe there is to some degree, but I mean, you move some stuff around and you get interesting results. So you never know. It could be one of the best things in the world and something new that only you have discovered. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you never do know until you get it all on the board and try it out. But either way, super stoked. Even if I have to like change my routing to go direct from like the line 6 to the looper and then go straight into the amp and bypass my GTX 100, it will still be pretty badass. So looking forward to it.
The GTX 100 doesn't have an effects loop on it either, does it? I mean, I wouldn't really need to have an effects loop on it, because if it does, you could just run it into the return and then it would.
It does. Yeah, the GTX has an effects loop, but I don't use it because what is on my board in front of the GTX is the overdrive. Like it's all fuzz and overdrive.
Okay.
And then I hit the Pod Go, which has modulation, which comes before the amp. Then it hits the amp in the Pod Go and then goes to the GTX 100, which is essentially being an FR cab, with the caveat that all of my reverb and delay happens post amp in the GTX modeling software. So it's kind of a convoluted thing, but like all the drive is physical pedals, all the modulation and the amp and cab sim are in the Pod Go, and then the GTX is just there for routing and reverb and delay. So I don't really know how it's all going to work, but I'm going to give it a shot. It'll be fun.
Yeah, see,
do a video on
it. It's to me, hear me out. Guitar,
yes,
cable, amp, and then you just and it works.
It's so simple. It's so simple.
Yeah, no, and I think that's my big thing when it comes to effects is just like obviously you made it work, but that's why my pedal board is just the way that it is. It's like I got a wah, I got a compressor, I got 2 overdrives and a reverb and a delay, and that is it. Would I like to have some kind of like chorus, phase, flanger, like stuff like that to mess around? Yeah, but I'm like I can't be bothered. I just can't. To get all the cables and then just the things go wrong, and I think I've talked about that before. I'm not a big pedal board person. I'm just not. I'm so plug and play. Call it lazy, call it whatever. I'm an old soul. Like I'm not. So
You're an
old
uncomplicated person.
Exactly, and I'm not so old to the point where I'm like, only tube amps are great. Like I love modeling stuff. I love how far modeling's come. I like analog, digital, like, you know, that new X Mighty 60 that I have is a modeling amp, and it's great.
Or the Pocket Master.
Or the Pocket Master. Yeah, I was going to say the Pocket Master is great.
Yeah.
The little Joyo thing that I got is great. You know,
Yeah.
obviously my Black Star is kind of my go-to. I need to use that Black Star more, man. I've got it. It sounded so good.
You're not a get off my lawn guy.
Yeah.
But
I'm like,
you
hey,
definitely keep your
the classics.
You definitely keep your front porch pretty clean, you know.
There you go, yeah. I bring my boots inside.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too, speaking
That's
of that.
right.
There was I know we're going on weird tangents here. I heard a thing recently.
Okay.
It was going back to life lesson things. This guy said that his dad, when he was growing up, his dad always had a pair of like muddy boots, like huge muddy boots that he kept on his front porch. And he said as a kid, you know, it made our porch look dirty and stuff. So I'd always bring them in, and my dad would always put them back outside. And he said, why do you keep the boots outside? And he's like, well, if somebody comes up to your door with bad intentions and they see them giant muddy size 13 boots out there, they're probably going to keep going on, right? Because they're not looking for trouble.
Yeah.
And he said, they said that really stuck with me. So when I went to college, it was kind of in like a sketchy area. So I went and bought like to Goodwill and just bought these old dirty boots and set them outside, looking like someone kicked off. And he said, some dorm rooms down from me got broken into, but then they got to mine and like the door wasn't even touched. And they just went on and and I was like, huh. So little
implied deterrent there.
There you go. Yeah. So keep a clean front porch, but keep some muddy boots out there. That's such a Southern with me. It's like keep your muddy boots outside, like kind of thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, the baseball bat's inside the house. Okay.
That episode of King of the Hill where the guy's at the door and he said, "You better have something back there heavier than an umbrella," and Hank just goes 9-iron. Have you seen the new? We're not even talking guitar stuff. Have you seen the new King of the Hill? Like, were you a fan of that? The original?
Oh, I love King of the Hill. My Boomhauer is my favorite. God dang on, man! I tell you what, man, that would be going down there and
if you haven't seen
guitar playing,
if you haven't seen the new one yet, like the reboot of it, it's like me and my wife binge watch it in about 2 days, if you want to call it a binge watch.
Pretty good.
But oh yeah, it's really, really good. It's
nice.
It's a reboot years later, or like a sequel, whatever you want to call it, done right. Because with something like with Happy Gilmore 2, not seen it yet, but naturally with it being an Adam Sandler movie,
I haven't either.
It's like, oh, it's garbage, it's crap.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I had a guy that I was talking to last night. Was it last night? No, it was Tuesday night. He said, have you seen it yet? I'm like, no. He says pretty good for what it is, considering that it's, and I'm like, yeah, considering it's a 30 years later reboot kind of thing or sequel. Right. I'm like, those never ever really turn out great. Let's be honest. Zoolander
it just depends on who gets a hold of them.
Well, it's like Zoolander 2.
I'm of the
rehash.
Like, I believe that South Park is about to get way worse. Like, I don't think it's going to be as good. I don't know. So? I'm sure. Well, you give somebody $1.5 billion. I just don't know how the hunger.
Paramount.
Yeah, I don't know how you keep a fire in your belly or don't sell out to, at this point, like one ideology or another. I think like Comedy Central, for the most part, to me, did a good job of not being captured by anything. It was just like, if you're funny, you're on.
Right.
I loved, South Park. I don't watch it anymore, and I probably won't. To be fair, I can't even pass judgment because I've seen some clips of the newer stuff, and it's still funny. But I just don't know how long that goes on.
Well,
and Steve says the new Happy Gilmore was hilarious. By the way,
good to know. Yeah, that's the second good review because I like Adam Sandler movies. Personally, I think he's funny. I mean, obviously, like.
Yeah,
Jack and Jill was not a very good. I didn't really care for Jack and Jill. Like, that's one of those stinkers. But like, he's got so many. Other
everybody's got him.
Like, you can't fault the man. I mean, I think he's funny, but that's the great thing about comedy is it is subjective, much like music, much like any kind of.
He made Billy Madison.
Right. Like, come on, dude. Anyway. But
you get a couple of stinkers for something like Billy Madison.
You're gonna get a couple stinkers.
We'll allow it.
But yeah, if your
Yeah,
ratio is better
100%.
than not, you know, it's like whatever.
Yep. But
What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying.
well, we were talking about pedal chain and keeping things simple,
You got
and
the
I
boots on the
wanted
porch
to.
movies.
I did have something to say on that. So so we got the sports schedule for my kids' fall sports,
Mm.
and I can't be in the cover band.
Oh
I went.
no!
I know. I know. Let's not. I had my dark day about it. I called the lead singer. I was like, "Bro, like you were in the room. You know how good that felt. You know that I felt like, you know,
There's your sad music to tell your story too. Well, it's a happy chord. Can't do that. But
but
you know,
and it was just like I had to, my wife's like, "I can't handle all that like without you."
yeah, no, I get it.
And and it was like, so I just called him and he's like, "Well, look, we'll just say this. It's not the right time. But when it is, the door's open. We want you to be our lead guitar player at some point.
That's
So
awesome.
just hit me up when that day comes and we'll work it out." And I just like I love those dudes. They're super like awesome people and much appreciation. We're gonna go watch them play on Saturday night downtown. And
Nice.
um I would love nothing more than to play music with those dudes, and they feel the same way. So it will happen at some point. It's just not right now. But that being said, when I went to the rehearsal last week, I took your Donner pedal board that you sent me, and I just put my Podgo on it and my Nauticlon overdrive pedal in front of, and I actually put that in. I put that one pedal in the effects loop on the Podgo, and it worked really good. So,
Nice.
like, you can do it. I just think you can't, like, muddy the waters too much with it, but
Right.
I put it in the, uh in the effects loop, and I didn't use, like, no reverb, and when you're playing in a band setting, like, less is so much more. Like, unless you're doing crazy, like, original indie music with a bunch of ethereal tone and stuff like that, you don't even need reverb. Like, it's it's just in the way. Like,
Yeah.
so I didn't even play with, like, no reverb on, not even for solos. And it was just like it sounded fucking great. So I think all this pedal board setup I have over here, that's just for me for Friday night live streams. And like you don't this that's for me.
Right.
That is not gonna fly in a band setting at all. Like it just won't work. So I think I'm with you for the most part. I think, if you're playing at home, you're doing, backing track work on a Friday night or something like that, just that's fine.
Yeah.
But when you go to a band, strip that bitch down because you don't need all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
just gets in the way. So I agree with you for the most part.
Yeah. That and it kind of goes into the maturity level of it. The longer you play and the more kind of experience you get with doing things like recording or playing live. It's like, yeah, it may sound great in your bedroom, whatever you're doing, with your pedal board or
Hmm.
your amp settings, but it's like you got to realize that when you go into a live setting, if you're, cutting the mids and you're boosting the low end and all that kind of stuff, it's like you're not going to be heard, right? And I know that just sounds so killer when you're just riffing away in your room. I know it, I get it, but you got to crank the mids and kind of maybe boost them highs a little bit and maybe roll back a little bit of the bass so the actual bass can shine through. Like, I mean, it's just one of those things you got to toy around with. Each setting's different, but
Yep.
I mean, the same thing with the recording. It took me a long time to understand, like, man, the bass is just so boomy. Like, what am I? And it's because my guitar had too much bass on it because I was replicating,
Yep.
at the time when amp sims were kind of getting more into their where they're at now. It's just one of
Yeah.
those things you have to play around with it. And again, it just comes with practice and time and the maturity level and the experience. So yeah, I mean, understanding that you don't need, the whole rigmarole of what you're doing at home in a live setting. And that's where modelers are fantastic, because if you can pack all of that in there and just say, oh, click a button, here's the whole preset for that song that we wrote with all of the effects, and then, I can go to the next one, click. Like, that's the beauty of it. And it sounds, fucking killer a lot of times. You can't tell the difference between tube and that half the time. It just depends. But anyway, not getting too deep into 100%. That argument.
No, I mean, I think you're getting agreement from the crowd over here. Jimmy says, honestly, I don't even need a switcher. 3 buttons on the pedal do exactly what I need: crunch, clean, and lead. And that's 100%. I mean, you find a good amp tone. I didn't even switch between presets. I just went with the Dr. Z preset.
Yeah.
And then just, gain pedal on or off depending on what we were doing. So I mean, it sounded so good, dude. Like, I just plugged direct into their PA, so everybody's DI into the PA, and it was great. So yeah, I mean, you just don't need a lot for that kind of thing.
You don't need a lot of gain either.
Anyway, yeah, that's about it. Tons of gain.
But anyway, so
yeah, man,
we went on a that was a roller coaster for a little bit as we.
This is the left field.
Yeah, I know. What are we? About 8 minutes left, technically. So
yeah,
maybe we can start doing some.
What do you
wrap up work? Yeah.
Yeah, what do you got coming up on the channel there, sir?
Some stuff on the channel. We got. Sorry, I'm going through some stuff here. I got a couple more sponsored things coming that I'm gotta eat, I guess, kind of thing. It's one of those things that I can turn around and like resell, so it's like nothing that's really whatever, but just bear with me through those. Rolling through some of the older stuff. I'm trying to decide on whether to make a video on this thing, because I'm like 100% returning it.
Oh.
And I'm really bummed about it.
Okay.
But
oh no, the Warlock.
Yeah. I think I think this one's a War Beast. Or a Beast.
Okay.
Whatever it is. Same difference. But yeah.
Cool.
It's just it's pretty comfortable to play, I'm being honest with you. The neck feels good, but it's just got high frets galore. It's got so much.
Oh no!
Yeah, and I've already popped a string on. Like I knew this was gonna happen. I put a pack of elixirs on it. I've had this pack of elixirs. Like, but this is the only set of strings I got, so whatever. And then the A string, when I went to go pull back on the Floyd, just kind of stretching out the strings, the A string popped, and I was like, oh my god! So I wasted.
You got some teeth in the Floyd Rose system there.
What I think it was is I don't think I tightened the screw back here tight enough, because I didn't break, it just popped out, but I wasn't able to. It was so much work to try to. So I just said I'll just replace the string out of an extra pack that was laying around, and it's got the output here. I can actually. I'm sitting here like I can't play it. I can play it. It might be out of tune, but to prove my point, the output on it is like horrendous. Let me crank that gain just a little bit. Like, that shouldn't be. It's actually relatively in tune. But like right here, you hear that?
Oh,
terrible. And that's the action's pretty high already. So,
yeah.
And then like down there is okay, but it's just got some like underlying electrical issues and stuff like that, which kind of sucks, because the thing about it was, when I got it, and I sort of knew about this, the neck had like on the markers there had like paint or like nail polish or something. Like, I don't know why they did what they did. And then it had these like stupid stickers on the fretboard that were I get why they put them on there, but they were like random cursive letters. It didn't spell anything. It didn't mean anything to me. and then it had some kind of phrase right here, like I don't know if it was in Spanish or Italian or something, French maybe. I don't know what it was, but just someone had. This was like somebody's little sticker baby. But I took some nail polish remover, took all that off of there. I cleaned up the fretboard really well, got all the residue off. And then when I finally got it set up, I'm just like, man, there's these freaking electrical issues. So Guitar Center is going to be getting it back in way better condition than they got it in. I'll tell you that.
God dang, dude.
Yeah.
Just did a bunch of work on it.
Yeah, it's like it's got, top tier strings on it, and the fretboard's nice and oiled, and the frets are nice and polished, and there's no paint on it. And it's like, that's not how I got it, but. And I'm like, man, I'm going to be freaking. I'm actually losing money on it too, because you don't always get your money. You don't get all of your money back when you return something. They keep the shipping, so it's like $20. But I'm like, so I put time, effort, blood, sweat, tears, and $20 into it. It's not the first time it's happened. It's not the last time. But and then what else? I'm trying to just figure out maybe something, because it was only like $300. It wasn't anything expensive. Trying to think if I should just replace it with something else. I've been kind of looking. I've stumbled across. You know what's kind of caught my eye recently is a lot of old PV stuff. A lot of old PV guitars.
Oh, you caught the bug, huh?
Yeah. We'll see. Okay. So it's kind of always been ingrained in me, because my dad actually has an old. I think it's a PV Predator. It's like a T-type, like a Telly kind of thing. And
yeah,
that thing's awesome. It's made, USA made, like 80s, some kind of 80. I don't know what year it is, but it's like probably late 80s. And that thing's awesome. It needs a little bit of work done to it. And I keep telling him, like, I can do the work on it. I can polish some frets and just But maple, it's red. It has stickers all over it. Maple fretboard. I mean, it's really, really nice for what it is. And I've always kind of been like, should I get a PV and like explore those old like made in USA PVs? And I've come across some of the Chinese ones, most notably the Retro Fire, if you've ever heard or seen of those. They're really weird. The headstocks are really weird.
Yeah.
The body configuration is weird, but they look really cool. But they're like super duper cheap. And then recently I came across the Mystic. Have you ever seen the Mystic? It's almost like a Jackson.
No.
It's almost like a Jackson Warrior. But it's like like their tentacles. It's weird. Like that's what they look like to me. It's like an octopus.
It's crazy.
It's so weird. But they're made in USA, all that kind of stuff. Not that that's really a big deal, but I mean, to get a made in USA guitar for like $500, made in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's like it's a gamble, but
can't beat that though. But Jimmy says he's got a bunch of the USA PV guitars, and he says they're great. So maybe it's worth your while.
It could be. It's just I've had so many like returns lately, because I've just gotten so many stinkers, like stuff that nobody's seen, because I'm just like, there's no point in doing this,
Right.
But there is, and about this video should have come out a while ago, but there is actually another BC Rich that I had that was like the cheaper version of this one that I got here, that was way worse than this. I mean, it was completely unplayable. I'm talking like I've never gotten anything in that bad of shape. But that video should be coming out, I would think, in the next couple of weeks, so stick around for that.
Nice. Right on.
And other than that, so maybe some PV stuff if I decide to pull the trigger on that. And I'm thinking about getting I just got to decide what the Mystics, if I do get one of those, do I want red or white? They both got a maple fretboard, which is my preferred. Thinking the white looks cool, but
really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, I caught Andy. I subscribed to Andy Wood's YouTube channel, and he's just a fantastic session guitarist. If you don't know, but he has signature guitars with Sir, and they're T style. And he just got these 2 new ones, and it's like competition orange, and then like 5 alarm fire red.
Yeah.
And the red is just so striking and cool. And it has a carbon fiber pick guard.
Ooh.
It's a really cool freaking guitar. You should at least look at them. I don't know if anybody can afford them. I think
Yeah, I
they're
was
like
saying
$5,000 or
Sirs are
something. But
great,
they're
but yeah,
really,
that's
yeah,
I'm a little tapped out when it comes to that
they're
high.
so expensive.
Yeah.
But really cool looking guitar though. I like that red, so that's why I was like, you should get the red. But
My
not
only issue
all
is
red guitars are made equally.
I'm kind of at a point right now, and it's just one of those little humps that I'll get over eventually. I'm just so tired of like black and red and
Yeah,
maybe blue. It's just like
it's something
I'm
different.
just tired of it. Like yeah, I mean I saw
Yeah,
an orange Jackson the other day that I was like, man, if I wanted a Jackson, it would be that one. It was just like a JS32, but I was like, man, I want
right.
something like that, like something cool. Which is kind of the reason why I'm looking for like weird, like with the BC Rich, like that's a black one, but it's got this silver like binding on it, so it kind of makes it's different, right? The hot doggers,
Yeah,
I mean, my God, like you can't get weirder than that. Well, you can, but I digress.
yeah,
Or like even my Les Paul, like instead of going with just let me get a freaking heritage cherry with a flame maple. That's boring, to me. Like
sure.
you might
Yeah,
call a plain top boring, but like this almost looks mint
it's
green,
different.
but it's white. Like yeah, it's
Yeah,
different. And with it being white
yeah.
and nitro, it's just gonna age beautifully. It's gonna like yellow over time. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I look for.
Yeah,
Is I know
man.
looks are not the most important thing, but I mean you want something to be able to pick
Well,
up.
you play guitar with your eyes, they say.
Yeah,
Like
you
you
play it, you
do
buy it,
want
you
to.
hear it.
Yep, for
So,
sure.
anyway.
Well, over here I just got Friday Night Live. Then hopefully next week I'll have the video the on the Lawler pickups done. I already shot the before so that I can do the AB.
Nice.
So I just need to shoot the after and final thoughts segment and stuff like that. But yeah,
Cool.
and then I'll probably do a video on that trio pedal that Mark's sending me, and just kind of do probably like I did with the Dude Alert pedal, just kind of film myself tinkering around and messing with it,
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've toyed with the
nothing
idea
too crazy though.
I've toyed with the idea of doing another one of those like pedal chain review things. 'Cause I'll be honest with you, I don't even know where the Doodle Alert's at right now. If anybody's even done anything with it at this point.
The last place I saw the Dude Alert was Ben Eller. See you, buddy. Love
Yeah.
you. Ben Eller did his review, or is it Eller or Ellerman?
Yeah,
No,
I think
Uncle
it's
Ben Eller. That's different. It's Ben something. Or Ed the Shred. I think actually it's Ed.
It's the British
Ed
dude.
the Shred. Yeah, and he did it, and then he sent it off to another buddy of his down the road. So I believe it's still over in the good old UK. But yeah, I liked that format for me of just like very informal.
Yeah.
So I might do that with the trio and just mess around with it. Anyway, that's all I got, brother.
Yeah, that's about all I got. If y'all want to help support a channel, you can buy a shirt. It's kind of cool. I'm wearing one on purpose.
I've got
So,
one. It's nice.
Yeah, I got other design. Well, I got like two other designs. I think no, one of them is archived because it's my old logo. So it's this one and then my like current logo kind of thing. But I got hoodies, shirts, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I
the
got
one on
stickers over there,
screen.
too.
Yeah,
I really, really, really got to go back on there and like start because I got a Redbubble store too that I get like 30 cents from every so often. I'm like, oh, someone bought a sticker.
right.
It's always from Sweden too, which is weird. I don't know if it's the same
In
person.
Sweden?
Yeah, like they'll buy a couple stickers on there like every like twice a year, and I'm like, I wonder if it's the same person buying these because I can't really see who it is. But anyway,
in Sweden, man,
I
you're
need
worldwide.
I know. I need to start pushing this more though. The merch line, not even just. I mean, just like, hey, I just want more as the channel grows. I think I'm about to hit 5,000 subscribers, If I remember correctly, I think I'm at
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
4,960 last time I checked. So, yeah,
It's amazing.
that's a big milestone. I got to do something.
Well, shout out Mark, Jimmy, and Brandy, and Yussi, and GTU. Let's see who else was in the chat. Steve Gunner, and I know we had more. Let me get there. Stay with me. The Tooth. And set up by Marshall. Great channel. Yep, The Tooth, Marshall. Thank y'all for joining us over here. We missed Redskin Garage this week. He wasn't.
Yeah, I had nobody
in
my chat. I had 8 views.
Well, golly. Apparently, your subscribership does not like live streams.
And that's, you know what? That's okay, because I'm subscribed to people that go live sometimes, and I just don't. I'm just busy, or I'm just like, I don't know.
Oh, and Birdman. Yeah. Birdman.
Put some respect on his name.
Put some respect. Yeah, man. It's not always. I don't know. I'm with you. You know, live streams for me, a lot of times it's like something I listen to in the background or whatever. So I think I provide that service on Friday night for others. So
yeah, sound good.
It is what it is. But yeah, bro.
Right. Well, that'll do it, I guess.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Catch us hot and ready with your mother next Thursday, not Tuesday. I'll be there Tuesday too. Don't worry about it. Next Thursday. I'm an idiot. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. I'm tired, man.
I think I put 11 p.m.
Oh, no.
I think I put 11 p.m. Eastern now that I'm thinking about it.
11 p.m.
On my yeah, I think I did something really dumb on my post. It's definitely Monday number 4. So
I'm tucked in bed at 11 p.m. Eastern, man. I got my sleep mask on, and I'm on that train. So anyway, yeah, y'all take it easy.
All right, guys.
Take it easy. Be safe. We'll catch y'all next week.
Have a good one.